my tip top. And if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop.
Welcome to In the Vibe. I'm Bass P.
And I'm the DIZZ with the capital E, DIZZ-E.
Keep it going.
Woo! You are now
In the Vibe. Still going, folks. He's still going. Make him stop. Keep going. Make him stop.
No, they don't. They wanna see me dance. They wanna see me dance. If you wanna see me dance, say hey ho, hey ho. If you wanna see me dance, say hey ho, hey ho. Well, what's going on? Hey man. All right. This is the big episode number 10. Our 10th episode. Thank you for joining us every week and showing us your support.
That's right. Thank you, everybody. Keep showing us the love. And remember to press the subscribe button.
Yes. Right here.
Right
here. I got that first. Right here. Hit the subscribe. And ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. So you'll be notified when we put up our new content every week.
That's right.
Okay.
And keep those comments coming. And don't forget to press the likes.
Yes. Okay. Also follow us on
Twitter,
Instagram.
TikTok.
And don't forget to check out our other channel right here on YouTube. And the links are listed down below. If you haven't heard of us yet, right, go check out our music.
Yeah.
And remember, follow us there as well. If you're following us here, follow us there.
That's right.
And also
We
subscribe
welcome
to
you
the
guys.
other channel as well, okay? So support both our channels, okay? Just like you've been supporting this channel. Wow.
That's right.
Wow. 500 subscribers now, just over. We got 550. We're trying to get to that magic 1,000. Okay, hit the 1,000, then we're gonna hit the 4,000, and then we're gonna hit the 5,000.
You know you
woo!
gotta take us there. Thank
Woo!
you guys.
Am I excited or what?
Yeah.
Man.
Always. We gotta keep it going. Always.
All right. This week, who's in the spotlight?
This week we're talking about one of the greatest legends, influential superstars. His name is Rick James.
Rick James, the man, the legend, the myth, a brilliant hitmaker.
That's right.
Soulful singer, riveting performer, influential producer, and a pioneer in fusion of funk groove and rock and roll. Okay, he is Rick James. So let's get this party started like James would start it. Ready? Here we go. Rolling. We're rolling. There we go.
Make your comments.
Make it happen, baby. Make it happen. Woo! Boom.
Let's do it.
Get your freak on. It's time for freak out. Okay.
God.
Do the funk to this week. We're gonna really put this the funk.
Yeah,
We're gonna put the stuff in the funk.
Put the funk, the stank, the wet,
Yeah.
and everything inside.
Get it. We're gonna mix it all up and deliver it over
That's
to
right.
you.
That's right. Sign to deliver.
Woo! Sign, seal, deliver. Yeah. Woo.
Do it.
Am I ever awake today?
Yeah.
Right? So, let's start with our news week. Okay, what has happened this past week has been quite amazing, like always. Okay,
Yeah.
right? But some weird things have been happening this
What's been
week, right?
happening, dude?
You know what? The first thing we have to talk about, one major news event, right? And you know, it's happened this past week. It's been happening actually for the last couple of weeks, and but it really went like hit skyrocket this week. Okay, is that it's I just cannot ignore it, and I think you can't ignore it. You're from the States, so you probably know more about this than I do.
A lot of issues.
That this week, okay, the women in America are about to lose their rights to abortion. Okay, the U.S. is about to go back into the 30s, okay, and the 40s. Okay, on a serious note, the U.S. Supreme Court, right, is getting ready to overturn the Roe versus Wade. Yeah, right. Which is, okay, Roe versus Wade is a law listed in the Constitution of the United States of America, the land of the not so free. Okay, which protects pregnant women's right and liberty to choose and to have abortion without the government involvement of any kind or anybody's involvement, right? It's a choice, right? And so the Republicans have really pushed for this, and now they're coming for everybody's rights. You know what falls under the 14th Amendment? Because this Constitution, this law falls under the 14th Amendment, right? Under the 14th Amendment, there's other laws that I think they're gonna go after this. One is the LBG rights, gay marriage rights, intercultural racial marriage rights, right? That falls under that same law, by the way. You know that? Under the 14th Amendment.
Yeah, I don't understand with the U.S. You know, we preach about
going
liberty.
backwards. Holy smokes! I told you, it's not the land of the free anymore, man.
We would preach about liberty.
Liberties.
We preach about rights.
Liberties.
And then
rights.
we complain about Russia. We complain about all these other countries, but we're not far from them.
No.
Guys, we have to.
Welcome to the club of the
Yeah.
dictatorship.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Right? Oh man, I can't believe those Republican senators, man. Woo, they're going far left there. Right?
I don't know if it's more because of their religion or beliefs, or is it more?
No, man. It's just this is
I don't know.
the Trump influence, man. This is these are those young people that are coming in, the America First thing, right?
Yes.
And so I don't like talking politics, but this is going crazy,
It's
man.
going
Like
deep,
this is going backwards.
It's really a serious.
You're a doctor. What do you think?
You know, I know every country is different, but what I loved about U.S. is that, you know, it was always liberty, you know, pro-choice. You had the freedom of choice, the freedom of speech, the freedom of thought, and America was one of the stepping stone countries for that. But now, I'm really worried, and I'm really concerned about what's going to happen in the next few years. A woman always has a right to her body, and this is really important.
Here's something interesting. In Ireland, they just got the abortion rights in I think 2003.
That's
or
right.
like
They've been fighting for years.
They've been fighting for
Decades,
years. And here you go. You know, they must be looking at America, going, what the?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, what is going on here, right? Man, that's like a real powerful, like, do you think anybody can reverse it? Because they voted already, the Senate voted, and even one of the Democrat senators voted with the Republicans, right? So they were able to get the 60 votes that they needed, right? So
there's always a possibility of a change as well anyway, but it's just...
But that's what happens when you load the court, the Supreme Court of the United States, when you load it with all Republican judges, and some of them lied to get their nominations in there and to be given that job, right? Oh man, when I read this and when I started watching this on the news this week, I thought maybe some of the Republican female senators and some of the more, liberal Republicans would have voted with the Democrats, but no. All of the Republicans.
Can you imagine a lot of the women might start going to different countries, maybe to Mexico?
But you know what? But if they come back and they find out, they can get arrested.
I heard about that too.
Right? Yeah. And this law, by the way, people, this is how bad this law is. If you get raped, if a woman gets raped, not you, if a woman gets raped, it's family incests, right? Yeah. If anything, if the accidental pregnancy there and the women or the man or the couple does not want the child, no, they can't. They can't do self-induced abortion either under this law when they pass this. Okay. They can't go to another country. If they go to another country and get it come back, they can get arrested for that. right?
Wow.
Because they're still American citizens,
Yeah.
right? And so this is gonna bring out a lot of nasty things, right? This is like have you seen the movie The Handmaiden?
Yes. I think it's gruesome like that.
I read the book The Handmaiden
Yeah.
in grade 8
Yeah.
when I was a young man. I still am. Look at this face, it never ages. Okay. Anyways, so at that time we were reading the book in school. We were going, this would never happen in a civilized world, right? And look what's happening, people.
You never
right?
know. We gotta keep protesting about
crazy,
this.
crazy, right? And so, anyways, like I said, I'm not really into politics, but this really made my blood curdle.
Yeah,
right?
it's understandable.
Because
We need to
I
have our
respect
liberty
women, and I
rights.
think women have the right to choose what they want to do with their body. Everybody has a right to do what they want to do. It's your body. You have the right. You have the choice. You make it.
Yeah.
It should not be somebody else's choice to do, make that choice for you.
Exactly.
Right?
And for example,
So-
if somebody gets raped, like a woman or a little girl gets raped at 12, 13 years old, and to start a family this way, I mean, it's horrible.
What it does to the psychology of the child or anybody, right?
It creates this
emotional,
vicious cycle.
psychological, physical, everything, right?
Yeah.
So, women, we're with you.
Yes, we
okay,
support you.
and we support you. We stand by you, and we really, and men.
Yeah,
Not only
support.
women should be out
Yes.
there protesting against
Yes.
this, men should be out there protesting against this as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so get out there and go and stand in front of your Congress representative and go out there with those picket signs and bug them day and night.
That's right.
Right? But no violence. Okay, we're not encouraging any kind of violence. Do it friendly, do it with love, but go out there, but speak your mind, because you know what, if you don't speak up now, they're coming after another law after that. They're coming after other rights. Okay? So this is I'm very passionate about this, because I think this is something that is they're taking rights away. They're taking rights away from one group.
Yes.
Guess what? They're gonna take rights away from other groups.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
It could be the little rock on the road. We'll keep you informed. Stay tuned.
And write to your Congress people, mate, and go out there, protest, stand in front of their offices. Don't go to their houses. Okay, that's because you can get in trouble for that. Okay, but go in front of in the judges, in the courthouse, go and stand in front, go protest, go.
Right.
Okay. Have you been following the Young Thugs and Gunna's RICO court case?
I've been hearing a little bit about that, brushing up on it a little bit. What's been happening?
Apparently, the pair have a group or a company called Young Slime Life.
Okay.
It's an entertainment company.
All right.
And apparently, it's deemed as a gang by the federal government in the United States.
Really?
Okay, the land of the not so free. Okay,
Right.
and we break your dreams when you try to succeed. Okay, so that's what the U.S. Constitution is about now, by the way. Okay, so I want to know how they can list an entertainment company, okay,
That sounds so biased.
into
in a way.
a
Yeah.
gang. How do you list that as a gang, right? The Young Slime Life,
Yeah.
okay, is a registered LLC,
Okay.
and provided countless jobs and opportunities for thousands of people, okay, underprivileged people in underprivileged neighborhoods. And especially to thousands of underprivileged
Blacks.
right, people and families. They changed their lives over the 10 years, because this company's been operating for 10 years, right? And so now they're in court defending this. He actually handed himself over. He went into the place, handed himself over. And so the case has been going this week, and so he pleads innocent, of course, right? And so, this is, and I've said this before to you, when African American person in America, the black man or black woman, start to get successful, right? The government comes after them, and they cut off the head of the snake. okay, because they don't want to see a person of any color, okay, become successful, okay, and so especially because YSL was really growing fast, and it was actually, you know, and every year they've been growing. This is crazy. I just can't believe that you can name a. We gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, I know. We're thinking of ourselves because
entertainment company.
we're in
High Track
entertainment.
Records might be in trouble.
And it's scary because we always want to be, you know, aspire to be great, but it's just worrisome that somebody is willing to or even able to hurt you when you reach the top. So
Oh man,
just stay true to yourself.
Yeah, man. You know, if you're a black man or a black woman in America and you have a business, right? Register it offshore. Okay.
Well, you know.
And you know, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Tax breaks, and plus, a lot of these other big companies are registered in Ireland.
Yeah.
Google, okay.
Yeah.
Microsoft. Right?
Microsoft.
They're all, you know.
Other techs.
Yeah, other tech companies. They're all registered in Ireland. Okay. Low tax rates, and if you want to, go ahead and set up a company there. Okay? Anyways, so it's just crazy. I told you, this week has been nuts.
It's really intense.
But some cool stuff, some funny things happened this week as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Hip hop culture has always been sort of connected with sports.
Always.
Okay.
It's great, man.
Basketball, football,
Yeah.
right, and other sports.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was never really connected to hockey much, right? And then, you know, and I've noticed actually more and more black players on NHL teams now, which is really cool to see.
Yeah,
right?
It's
And
nice.
so it's good. So it's getting its love now. It's getting it because of the guy that was on who really loves it. On Wednesday, Kodiak Black attended game number 5
Oh, you did?
of the playoff series.
Okay.
Okay. The Stanley Cup playoff series is coming up,
Yeah.
right? Between the Florida Panthers and the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
All right. Let's go
In
Panthers.
their first round match in the 2022 NHL Stanley Cup, right? Whoa. Okay, playoffs. Okay, you watch that?
I watched the hockey.
I love the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm a Tampa Bay,
Yeah.
fan, Tampa Bay Lightning fan. But for anybody from Florida, I'm gonna support.
Yeah,
Florida
I'm a
man.
Pittsburgh Penguin fan, right? So I love them. They're great. Mario Lemieux's team, right, man? That's who made me a fan.
All right.
The Pittsburgh Penguins was Mario Lemieux.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah,
The guy, he's a machine.
He's a great player. He was great.
Okay, and then my second team is Calgary, then Vancouver. Right?
Yeah.
And so because I lived in these good cities, right? So loved them, right? And so, anyways, to my Canadian people, hey.
Salute to you.
Yeah, right. Anyways, so the Florida native got on the ice. He had a chance to meet the team players, and after the game was over, he had a chance to go mess around with the team players and on the ice. And after the game, Kodiak hit the ice, and he took a couple of shots.
No way.
Okay, and to hone his hockey skills.
Okay. All right. Bro.
Which aren't very good, by the way. But he was having fun. Okay, so the Super Gremlin, rapper sort of missed a wide open pass, but he burst out into a nice dance routine, right? And then he pointed out into the seats where there was no fans there at that time, right? So it was pretty cool.
No, that's good.
Right? It was. Excuse me. So another really exciting thing I'm happy because I love this guy. This guy is an inspiration to me, and I love the way he raps. I love his business style. I like his comedy style, right? Fridays.
Oh, you talking about
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Right?
Ice Cube.
LA. Okay,
Right.
so
One of the greatest rappers.
guy's a great storyteller,
Yeah,
right?
he is.
And awesome. Love his rapping style, love his movies, right? Ice Cube has reportedly signed a multi-million-dollar picture deal with Luminosity, Entertainment,
Man,
and
just keep getting paid.
that will see him develop a number of movies and television series over the next coming years. Okay, and it's in association with 5120 Entertainment and Smoky Screen and obviously Cube Films. Okay, Cube is set to kick off the partnership with a comedy film, okay, called Cube in My Head. Yeah, it's a story. The basic base story is that there's a helpless white guy. He's got a little guy inside his head, and the voice and the little guy in his head is Ice Cube.
I don't know.
He gives him advice, and I think it's gonna be kind of cool. Imagine having Ice Cube in your head.
Won't you do that?
Yo, fool. Get on up. Okay, so anyway,
just thank God it was a good day.
Yeah. That was a good day. Right? Anyways, so Cube is set to star in the movie himself, right? And give the man some advice and get his life back on track. Okay, and other projects on the horizon include he's going to reunite with Kevin Hart.
Oh, Right Along.
For Ride Along 3.
Ride Along 3,
Okay,
alright.
as well as War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, alongside Eva Longoria.
Oh, I love
right?
her.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, I love her.
Okay, and Michael O'Neill.
Yeah.
Right, and so this is going to be actually pretty cool, right? And so big congrats to Ice Cube, man, you rock, bro.
Keep it going, bro.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of people signed a lot of contracts this week. Okay,
Yeah.
and this past week. Okay, and Sean Diddy Coombs, aka his new name Love.
Oh no. It's too old to talk about love.
He announced the creation of
Never
his
too
new.
old. Never too old.
He announced the creation of his new R&B record label.
Yeah.
Guess what it's called?
No.
Love Records. Sorry, my vocals went there. As well
Love
as
Records?
a one-time album deal with Motown Records. Okay, so this is cool, right? It's cool. It's something, but he's gonna focus. His label will focus on R&B music, releasing singles and joint projects from groups of top musician producers and composers, new and old. And he's gonna do some combos.
He has a history of R&B with Faith Evans.
Yeah,
and
well,
but
this was
it's
originally
just
how he
love.
started, though. Really.
All love.
Right? Yeah, so this will also be Kuhn's official return to music because he also has announced his first album on that label, Love Records banner.
Love Records.
Okay, which will be dropped this summer.
Okay.
So that'll be kind of cool. I haven't heard anything new from him in a long time, right? So the label will focus creating timeless R&B music, just like Motown. He wants to be the new Motown.
I see. Okay.
Right, and with the next generation of artists and producers, Coons feels that Motown is the perfect partner for his upcoming album.
Well, maybe he'll prove me wrong. You know, I'm just thinking it's just all about love. I mean, this guy was dancing, you know, and everything with Biggie and rappers and hip hop.
I think
but
he was,
maybe he can.
He said R&B was his original love, right? And so.
Maybe he can prove me wrong, prove a lot of people wrong. We'll see.
You know what?
We'll be waiting.
But that's what makes a good artist.
Right.
Is someone who constantly continues to develop.
That's true. That's true.
Right. So, and that's what happened this week or this past week. Okay, we gotta start saying past week.
Past week, yeah.
Because so this is sort of like a roll up of what happened in the past week.
Or the last
okay,
week,
and so this is why we do this.
That's right.
Okay. So, anyways, this is it. That was the week. That was like, it was an interesting week. Okay, some downs, some ups, some lows, right? But we always try to keep on our show. We try to keep you up and we keep you going.
Yeah, keep you going.
Okay,
Keep you
so
tuned in.
hey people, it's that time. It's that time to find out what P's been up to for this week. Okay,
All
P, to share with us what you've been up to and what's new.
Thank you, DIZZ-E.
In the zoo.
In the zoo. Well,
Yeah.
in the
The jungle, the concrete jungle.
That makes me
Okay.
wonder if I'm gonna keep it going. What happened this week? Wow. I met a schoolmate. Well, not met. I saw a schoolmate that I graduated from med school. We hanged out for a day or two.
You hanged out or you hung out?
We hung out. Yeah. So, you know.
For all you
I got that slang.
second language speakers.
I got that slang, you know.
Yeah.
So first of all, don't make me don't make me go into British. PR, would you like what? You look better. Under the wet up. I know I'm speaking Cockney, but it's
That's not even Cockney. I
Let me see,
have no idea what that is. I don't know what that is.
But
Anyway, so go on. Share with us. Share with us.
We were just hanging
Wait,
out.
Pete, do you hear that?
What's that?
Look at them. They're all so impatient to hear what you have to say. Come on, look at them. They're going to bust their computers and they're going to throw down their mobile phones. If you don't talk about your view.
If this would let me continue. So everything was okay. We talked about old times. It was good. But the weather, I gotta say the weather. I know. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, now a short break for today's weather news with the weatherman.
Did you ever have the feeling that you ought to go? Did you ever have the feeling that you ought to stay? Well, I know a man who's gonna have the last say. Who else but the weatherman?
And here's the latest weather report.
Weatherman Base B. Good morning, and today's weather, this week's weather, has been partly cloudy with a little bit of rain, and we're expecting sun, Bobby. But DIZZ-E. I don't know if your name's Bobby or DIZZ-E. We're expecting some sun.
He keeps changing my name every week. Right? So
But it just doesn't.
I've got a confused identity crisis happening. Right? So
But it just hasn't come out yet. So we hope that next week there will be pure sun, bright and shining on us today. Thank you. And this is this news on In the Vibe.
this segment was sponsored by Base P. So this week, as we mentioned earlier, we are going to talk about Rick James, flamboyant, provocative, volatile, and always outrageous.
Yes.
He was a talented artist and a bona fide superstar. Man, this guy could rock.
Yes.
Okay.
Born James Johnson Jr. in Buffalo, New York. He was connected.
JJJ.
Triple J. He was connected to the music world at birth as the nephew of the Temptations singer Melvin Franklin.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he was.
Seriously?
It's really cool.
I heard something about that he was related to someone, but I didn't know it was Melvin Franklin. Wow, from the Temptations.
Family musical genes, you know.
But wasn't his mom also
She was a singer. She was a dancer and a singer.
Right.
And in an impulsive moment at the age of 15, he joined the Navy.
Oh, by the way, he lied about his age.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
And he was 15, but he told them he was 16.
Yes. And you know, knowing Rick James the way he wasn't that type of person to just stay still and follow the rules. He gets really edgy, you know, and then he joined the Navy, which is probably one of the most strictest places to develop yourself. So of course he was overwhelmed.
In the Navy.
He was overwhelmed and he went AWOL and took refuge in Canada.
Yeah, see, because at that time, because he had AWOL and because he had stayed away, he he left and went to Canada, and because they were ready to send him to, I think it was the Vietnam War.
Yes, that was the Vietnam War.
And so they wanted to send him to the Vietnam War because of his attitude towards everything, and that's a wrong reason to send somebody to war. Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but you know, during that time, Muhammad Ali was one of his greatest influences because he agreed with Muhammad Ali that the Vietnam War wasn't for him as well. So it was there that he formed the first band. It was a kind of a rock collective band called the Mina Birds. I don't know if I'm saying it right, Mina or Mina Birds.
Mina Birds. Yeah, Mina Birds.
Yeah. Which at one point featured one of the future superstars, Neil Young.
Neil Young.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's a good singer. He's from Canada. He's Canadian.
Yeah. He's a really special guy.
Yeah.
But it was never really, released. The album was never put out. But
he changed his name when he went to Canada so he wouldn't get caught by the army or by the local police. Right? He changed it to Rick James Matthews.
Rick James Matthews. But hey,
he doesn't look like a Matthews.
It's just trying to keep yourself undercover. Yeah.
Right? Because if he would have been caught, he would have been sent back and he would have gone to jail.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So he landed a deal for the band with Motown Records, but upon returning to the U.S., he was tagged and into the break because for deserting the Navy training.
Yeah, for deserting.
Yeah. Deserting, yeah.
Navy training. He didn't even finish the training.
Yeah. It was a lot of issues for him. So basically, after his release, he relocated to Detroit. And though the Minor Birds, let me say that right, the Minor Birds dissolved, he maintained a relationship with Motown as a staff songwriter. He developed an R&B band, The Main Line, in England, and spent much of the time just continuing on during the 70s, traversing in the Atlantic as he developed various projects.
Yeah. And then in 1977, saw him assemble his Mighty Stone City Band, which was actually his group of people that he actually used to sing on the street corner with when he was younger, right? And so he brought these people back, and he stepped into the spotlight as a solo artist. With the band as his background, with for his first debut LP called Come and Get It, released by Motown.
That's right.
And in 1978, which launched the R&B singers or smash hit, You and I, which went #1.
Yes. And the singers, by the way, they all followed that same hairstyle that he wanted. You know, the braids, the flashy clothes, the makeup. It was
this guy was funky.
Yes,
and you'll see the pictures. Throughout this whole presentation, you'll see the pictures of him in videos. This guy, he was cool.
Yeah, he was.
Did you know he's the only Motown artist that was signed with Motown 3 times?
Really?
Yep.
Well, I know he loved Motown.
Right?
He did.
So because first time he signed,
Yeah.
right? He went back to Toronto, but when he came back, he was arrested and went to the military.
Yeah.
Okay, then he came out, did a couple of songs, but at the time they had him write songs for the Temptations, for other Stevie Wonder, a lot of the other Motown artists. Okay, and they then gave him his own solo, right, and hit, and then also on the same album, Come and Get It. Okay, another song went big was Mary Jane, which reached #3. Yeah, it reached #3 on the Billboard charts.
Yes.
Okay, and so
you can't deny. First of all, Motown can't deny. This guy was a talented guy. I mean,
that's why they wanted him. That's why they kept signing him back on.
Yeah, he
right?
basically carried Motown into the 80s with that funk and that style.
Yeah, because they were actually starting to fade out. Motown was starting to fade out, and so he came back and lifted them up, brought them, sort of guided them into the 80s,
That's right.
and which guided them into the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? Because if he hadn't come around, right, and he hadn't written some songs for other groups and other people, I think that it would have faded out.
I think so too. I believe so too. I love Mary Jane. And first of all, when I heard Mary Jane as a kid, I thought he was talking about this beautiful woman. But he was talking about something else. But
Damn, that feels good.
You know what?
I feel like James Brown.
Let's hear some clips from You and I and Mary Jane.
Yeah, ready.
Bow.
You and I, we fit together like a glove on hand. I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing.
He capitalized on the song Mary Jane by assembling a girl group.
Yes.
Called the Mary Jane Girls.
I love that group. I love that group. I love their songs.
Who accompanied him as a warm-up act. Also, a little known fact. Okay, a fun fact. You know who used to open up for him?
Yes.
Who?
Prince. Who had similar style with the hair and the makeup.
Actually, he copied a lot of.
Prince, he didn't say that.
He never said. He pitched his style.
Yeah.
And his hairdo.
Yeah. Prince would never say that. Prince was more vibrant. He had a lighter tone than Rick was just raw. Give it to you. Prince was raw too.
He was a combination of James Brown.
Yeah.
And Rick James.
Yeah, because Prince
he must
was
really
dancing.
like his James.
but Prince was dancing and everything. Rick was dancing too, but not.
Rick was doing the old groove,
Yeah,
funk groove, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the guitar. Yeah,
But
the guy was out.
Yeah.
Right, so they did that. They opened up for him during his tour of Busting Out
That's right.
of L7.
Yeah, L7.
Right? And Fire It Up.
Fire It Up.
Probably Busting Out hit number 8.
All right.
Right, and Love Gun hit number 13.
Wow.
And Big Time hit number 17. Man, he had like so many on that from that one album. He had so many hits.
He was a talent.
Right?
Man.
The guy had like a hit after hit. You know, and what makes me kind of really when I think about this, during that time he never won a Grammy. He didn't win a Grammy until much later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For like, I think these songs should have won him. Like,
you know, I think this is what kind of made him bitter later because he was putting out the best. He was making groups. You know?
Yeah, but he said he didn't really care about the Grammys.
He didn't care.
He was more worried. He just wanted to do the music.
Yeah.
Right? But there was other things that got involved. So you know what? Before we go on,
Yeah.
I really like the song "Busting Out"
Let's
and
do
"Love
it.
Gun."
Let's do it.
Right? You gotta watch this. This guy is funky. The guy is. Ooh.
Let's do
Check
it.
it out.
Bustin' out. Bow.
Busting out, everybody come along. Shoot me with your love gun any day.
Man, I love hearing his hits. I never get tired of his hits. It's
No,
just
you know,
amazing.
just the energy.
Yes, it's just it's great. All
And
the
that
time.
music, man.
Classics.
Takes you back
Classics.
to the 70s. You know.
Yeah. So it was the 1981
We
Street
should have been
Songs.
wearing 70s headbands and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know,
This episode.
We might do that.
We should have done that. We should have done that.
Hey, it's not too late. We
Okay,
might do that
so-
for some later singers.
We just gotta start dressing up the characters.
I can't wear the braids. Anyway, it was the 1981
Keep
Street
my
Song.
hands like this.
He's feeling the energy, channeling in.
I feel
Rick
James. I'm feeling the James.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. It was the 1981 Street Songs that James visioned booty rockin' bass, bulletproof horn charts, and that rock tingle guitar riffs,
Man.
and that new wave synthesizer
Yeah.
blast, and strutting those vibrant vocals. I mean, this guy could at last be fully appreciated because I mean, this man was almost fully apprehended the way that he was so aggressive on the
He
stage.
was rambunctious, man.
Yeah. And of course, with the platinum disc, with that rambunctious album hit, "Give It to Me, Baby, Give It to Me, Baby."
Here we go.
You know, it's like,
Here we
I
go.
feel it. I'm Rick James.
Bitch.
Oh, you're not supposed to say it. This isn't Dave Chappelle. This isn't Dave Chappelle. See what Rick James is asking. You see what he says?
I'm feeling good. Okay.
So it's that dance floor hit. That was that hurricane.
It was. That song. Everybody would hit the dance floor when that song
Yes,
came out.
That's right.
Right.
It rivaled.
And I'm not
many
gonna say why I know that. Like, oh, jeez. Like, it's not like I was ever there. Rick James who?
Yo, I guess.
I was too young.
Yeah.
I'm too young to know that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That hit rivaled anything in the catalog at that time. It was with Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire against
George
George
Clinton. Ooh, the
Became
Funkadelic. Okay.
Became the #1 R&B hit and the #1 dance hit that also reached the top 40.
Okay. Oh man,
Let's
see,
hear
this
it.
is why I'm. Oh man, yeah.
Let's hear it, man. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
Make you hot like you had enough. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
And that's a good song. I can never get tired of that.
No, you can't. You can't. You know, no matter what song you play of Rick James,
Yeah.
it is gonna get you off your feet.
Yes, it is.
It's going to
That
make you
energetic.
or make you think. And like if you're driving and you listen to Rick James, you're like, boom, boom, down, 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 down. Hey, hello, officer.
What you listen to, sir?
Well, son, were you listening to Rick James? Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. And then we kept on making great hits like Fire and Desire, baby. That's what I used to do. First of all, you know, let me not get into it. With his young protege, Tina Marie, listen, if you do not know hits, you got to listen to Tina Marie. If you don't know rap, she's one of the first pioneers of rap with that hit Square Biz. You got to listen to that hit Square Biz. It is one of the best hits you will ever hear. She has like this whole broad spectrum of her vocal range, the rapping, the singing, everything, and you just got to listen to that. Fire and Desire, is booming.
Yeah.
So, my top 2 songs of Tina Marie are Square Biz and Ooh La La La. Yes.
Oh.
Not from Fugees. It started from her.
Yeah.
Ooh La 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 is one of the best ones. So.
Ghetto Life.
Ghetto Life as well. Ghetto Life from Rick James is a formative influence on the gangsta style that would evolve later into the decade.
That's where gangster rap came into.
Yes,
Right?
I mean, the influence that he brought into rap, which is one of the reasons why we're talking about him as well.
Let's hear gangster. Let's hear like that Ghetto Life. Let's hear
Let's
Ghetto
hear that Inner City
I
classic.
want to hear Ghetto Life.
Let's
I want to
hear
hear Ghetto Life.
Bow.
Wow.
Didn't know what my life would be. I was dumb and all.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great, man.
I just feel like I wish I had a guitar.
Yeah. That's streaming
Let's
guitar.
hear guitar. Air guitar. Okay?
Yeah.
But it was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Super Freak.
Super Freak.
That made James a household name. If you haven't heard Super Freak yet.
But actually, she's a
Super
very freaky girl. The kind you don't take home to mother. First of all, when he was singing, he said he was trying to sound like a white guy, kind of like a white British guy. That's what he thought in his bed. And but that's why he sounded like that.
Man, if you haven't heard Super Freak,
You have
go
to.
check it out. Right? We'll show it here anyway, so you get a little clip. But
Exactly.
you got to listen to the full song.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
song is still in movies. Like they still
Energetic.
show it in
Yeah, they
movies.
sample
They
it all
show
the time.
it
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Man, and that song's been sampled so many times.
Yeah.
It's like or used as a background anytime they have a 70s clip in a movie.
Yeah.
They always have Super Freak played in the background.
It's a staple.
Right?
It's
So,
a staple to our
anyways,
music, man.
yeah, or the 80s stuff, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
the frisky funk anthem about a girl
Mm-hmm.
you don't take home to your mother. Okay, it's shimmed up to number 16 on the pop charts, right?
Yeah.
And dominating the clubs and attracting sort of the mainstream audience, so much so that James played himself on the hit TV series The A-Team and performed the song in one of their episodes. You remember The A-Team?
I love the A-Team. Mr. T. Fool.
Mr. T.
I pity the fool.
Pity the fool.
Don't listen to Rick James. Better watch. I'm a mama's boy. No.
Sorry, Mr. T. Sorry, Mr. T.
I have to say this. My favorite clip of Mr. T was in Rocky 3.
Yeah.
When he said to Rocky, "Hey woman, couldn't bring your pretty self down to my apartment. I know you want a real man. Hey, you know you got a big mouth. Hey, what are you gonna do, Rocky? What are you gonna do?" That's one of the best. Mr. T's, shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Mr. T. Mr. T. Right?
Yeah.
How many people imitate Mr. T?
Oh man, he's just got that energy, he got that meanness.
Him and Urkel. Did I do that?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
We'll get to
We'll
Urkel
get to
another time,
that.
right? So,
Exactly.
I like many other chart stompers, okay? Super Freak never really went away. It
Yeah.
stayed with us. It became a pop sort of sensation, okay? And a must for any like party playlist. If you got that 70s, 80s, 90s, early 80s, mid 5 and you got that playlist, I guarantee you have Super Freak on your list.
Definitely,
right?
most definitely.
So,
Definitely.
since we talked so much about this song and we built it up, I hope people really like it.
No, they haven't.
Anyway, you're gonna love it.
Let's do it.
Here, check it out.
Wow.
She's a super freak, super freak.
What a great hit. What a great hit. This
I
guy.
like a.
It's great. Let him dance. Let him keep dancing. He's still got the Rick James channel inside of him. So let's continue, man,
Okay.
because unfortunately, success prompted him to party like a Roman Empire and to overextend himself. In addition to mounting into different situations, because with his own lavish tours, He produced the Mary Jane Girls. I love Mary Jane Girls.
Worked with the Temptations.
All night long. Yep, worked with Temptations. And even produced that comedic actor who became one of the most famous actors of all time, Eddie Murphy, with the hit single Party All the Time.
Oh, I remember that. You know, I was so surprised when I heard it on the radio and they said Eddie Murphy. I thought it was a different Eddie Murphy.
Eddie should. I mean, I know he does.
But he's got a wicked voice though.
He can sing. I saw him when he was singing.
But do you remember Saturday Night? Remember Saturday Night Live?
He used to do
He used to Rick James. He always did Rick James.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So it was no wonder that he was gonna get the guy he was imitating all the time, right? To do his music, right? So,
you know what? Let's check out Eddie Murphy's hit.
Party All the Time. Party All the Time. Yeah, this is taking us way back.
Wow. So as Rick continued to churn out plenty of his own hits during the early 80s, like Cold Blooded, which hit number 1 in the R&B charts, and hit number 40 on the pop charts. Glow hit 5 on the R&B charts, number 5, and on the pop charts. And Dance With Me hit number 3, standing on top of on part 1 on the charts as well. I mean, with the Temptations, and he was basically helping the Temptations continue on their career. I mean, he was so busy during this time.
But this is what I'm saying is he carried them into the 80s and into the early 90s.
He extended their careers.
Yeah,
I mean,
so yeah, he did.
So I mean, this guy was so busy. I mean, I don't know if he had time really for himself, but you can see he was just making hit after hit. And his last big hit as a solo artist was in 1988, Lucy's Rap. Yeah. With, one of my favorite rappers, female rappers of all time.
We talked about it a little bit last week.
That's right, MC Roxanne Shanti. Yeah. Which vaulted to the top of the R&B chart that year.
Man, this guy he's working with everybody.
Yeah. You know what? Let's hear the clip of Lucy's Rap. Let's do it.
Okay, yeah, why not? Let's go.
Bye.
Lucy's.
In the 1990s, as rap music was starting to begin and penetrate the mainstream, right? And it was starting to grow, the mass market of it, right? The grandly theatrical MC Hammer, right? Yeah, he scored a worldwide smash with "You Can't Touch This."
That's right.
Can't touch this. It was a hip hop cocktail that got its kick from Super Freak, right? So sample, which actually Rick James claimed his with this song as the first and only Grammy award.
All right.
As the co-author.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
So yeah.
Influence,
so let's have a. I feel like
listening
to.
Let's just name MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Can't touch
this.
Yeah. I told you, homeboy, you can't touch this. Yeah.
Wow, MC Hammer. We're gonna talk about you someday too. Don't worry, MC.
You're coming. Your number's coming.
That's right.
Right.
So the rest of the decade was particularly rough for Rick James, whose drug habit worsened. His legendary bad behavior sparked legal difficulties and even a 2-year prison stretch. It was tough for him. I mean, he returned to the stage in 1997, a tour, but he suffered a stroke that even sidelined him more or less for good.
Yeah.
And even as his personal troubles continued and captured the headlines, James' work continued to shape popular music. The growth of the hip-hop scene built countless tracks on the foundations of his songs. And among the best songs artists with influences from Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, Mary J. Blige, Busta Rhymes, Dr. Dre, Coolio, Chris Cross, EPMD, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Maya,
and the
DJ
Fresh Prince, aka Will Smith, the slapper.
I wanted to leave it for you.
Maya, DJ Quick,
that's right.
Keith Murray. Oh, Keith Murray, man. I remember. And of course,
Africa
Bomba.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. Excellent.
James began to reclaim his reputation in the 21st century, aided by the 2002 release of the 2-disc set anthology, right? And which represented the range of his work that he had done throughout his lifetime, right? I gotta find this.
Yeah,
this disc. I gotta find it, man. Like, So because I didn't even know that existed until I did my research and I found out, wow, this guy, wow, this is incredible, right? So he appeared on the Dave Chappelle show to lampoon his high-flying superstar image in 2003, turning, "I'm Rick James."
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. This ain't the Dave Chappelle show. This is the in the vibe. You gotta feel good, not feel
This phrase actually became quite popular and everybody started using it. Britney Spears used it.
That's right, that's right.
It's Britney. Okay. So his own final studio work came in the form of a reunion with Tina Marie
Yeah.
for her 2004 album. He was at work and he was working on his new album and an autobiography when in August 2004 his person that was coming doing his cleaning right found him dead in his home with an enlarged heart right so
it was difficult, constantly reaching, growing and exploring new aspects of his talent. We're all part of the genius of the man Rick James.
Yeah.
And since he burst upon the scene in the late 1970s, with his unique style, his unique flair, that brand of punk funk music, he has been an inspiration to his peers, to us, and won the acclaim of audiences and critics alike.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
No matter what went on in his personal life and in and out of prison and other things and drugs, the guy was incredible.
He was. He's such an influence, and he left us far too soon.
But his legacy, exactly. But he inspired so many young people, and I'm sure his music is going to continue to inspire other young people.
Yeah. New generations of artists, and to get their super freak on.
Yeah,
that's right.
Super freak.
The super freak.
Oh, one major point, okay? Just a quick little side note here. It's actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Aerosmith, Steve Tyler.
Yes.
Right? Actually, the rumor is, I'm not 100% positive this happened, but the rumor is that when he went to rehabilitation, they were in these cabins like side by side, and then Rick James, they were in a rehabilitation for drugs, and then Steven Tyler introduced them to cocaine.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Not just like a little bit of cocaine, but a whole lot of cocaine.
Steven Tyler had his issues.
Yeah, so Steven Tyler's he's awesome.
He is.
But they were young, and that was the big thing back then. In the 70s and 80s was drugs, rock and roll, and sex. For artists, for musicians, right? That was a big thing.
By the way, I got in trouble. Okay, we were talking about Aerosmith a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And I was playing the playlist of Aerosmith.
Yeah.
And there's one song, Dude looks like a lady. Dude looks like a lady. Now, I have a 3-year-old daughter, and she heard that. And she was singing it the whole day. I didn't know about it. She sang it in front of my wife, her mom. I was in so much trouble. I was trying to run. So please, don't play Aerosmith on the playlist.
Around your kids.
Exactly.
Okay?
So yeah.
There's that parent advisory. Alright, so all I have to say is he was truly a legend. Way beyond his time, right? And he carried so many people on his shoulders and on his coattail, right? So many people took a ride with him, right? Literally a ride.
I mean, he made this wonderful musical tree of artists, Mary Jane girls, the Tina Marie, who became a success herself, even Prince in a smaller extent. But I know Prince would say if he was still here that Rick James was such an influence because he became his opening act. So I mean, Rick James influenced so many people. Eddie Murphy. I mean, the list goes on.
The list goes on. It just cannot stop.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So we salute you, Rick James. We thank you for being an influential pioneer to us, and we're gonna keep playing your hits as time goes on. Thank you.
Oh no! There we go. Hey,
what's up,
bass. Clean.
What's up, Diz?
a 2 mil in the middle of my hood. Drinking the mud, I be boy fresh with it on me. Know how I pop out. That bullshit is not important. What I'ma lie about? Don't play with me.
Diamond clean, I'm riding the Jeep. I got in the club with all of my thugs. I'm packing that pistol.
I'm trying to do more with her than do a feature. I check the web, they out here chewing me up.
5 for my niggas, they gon' get it brackin'. 4 trade gangsters, they gon' get it crackin'.
Up, started on the corner. Rolling truck, red guns, couple million, yeah,
Pray for my demons, girl, I got you. Every time I sip on codeine, I get vulnerable.
The world's mine, I just say fuck it, let it turn. The girl's mine, I just say fuck it.
With the buzz. First I thought it wasn't none. Probably think I wanna hit it run. Bad girls wanna have fun.
Looking out that bullshit, I scrape out the paint. One day I was high, had to pour the whole paint. Woke up in the sky saying,
Man, those hits are getting better and better. I'm noticing that.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, it's really good.
Some of these young artists are like real cool cats, man.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
coming on with some good songs, right? So, woo!
So, okay, people, we're closing it in the end. So let's remember to subscribe, leave your comments below, press those likes, and ring that bell.
Ding ding!
That's right.
We will see you all next week with another exciting episode of
In the